Well, I'm sure you're all aware by now that the Liverpool squad were unable to fly back home to Merseyside after the game last night, but at the second time of asking, we are on board. Brendan, quite a strange situation, I guess.
Yeah, it is, yeah, but you're better being safer than sorry. I suppose we, obviously it would have been ideal to have flown back last night, but we've been well looked after. Obviously the tour operators and the people who have organised us all well. And in fairness, it hasn't affected us too much really. We've been able to recover well overnight and recover this morning, and then we'll have one preparation session before our game against West Ham. So let's hope we all go home safe and sound, and there's no more dramas.
Because supporters will want to know how much it does actually affect things, because things are planned right down to the T, aren't they? So you don't think it's altered things too much?
Not too much, no. I think most of the players here would have been on a first day recovery anyway. The only ones that maybe slightly it would affect it might have been the players left at home.
Okay.
But that's all been taken care of. Stephen Gerrard, Lucas, Daniel, they'll all have done a good session this morning. So they'll be fine and topped up, ready for the session tomorrow. And like I say, most of the players that played last night were on their first day recovery today anyway. So what's important for them is their preparation for Sunday in relation to their nutritional needs. So they've all been taken care for there, and obviously our medical and sports science team here have ensured that this morning they had that good recovery. So it's just one of those things that you can't control, but when it happens, then it's important that you do the best for the players and for everyone. And as I said, everyone's fine, and we'll just look forward to the weekend.
But everyone's in good spirits, because the most important thing, you got the win last night.
Yeah, obviously it would have been totally different if we would have lost the game. And it was a real unique game last night, because our aim, I always felt, and I said to the players beforehand, that this was a game where I think we can get to the top of the group. But it was also, on the other hand, a game where if it didn't work out well, you could have finished bottom of the group, which would have been incredible really. But I think the overall outcome for us has been really, really satisfying, because we have won the mentality of the team. We had to go and win last night, and I think that shows the great improvement in the group, that we're able to come out to Udinese, a team with experience, and come and win the game, which obviously ultimately got us through. But that shows me that it's another mark and a step forward for us in terms of how the group's evolving. But also what we've been able to do over the course of the tournament is we've been able to blood a lot of young players, and obviously a lot of the teams that we've played have been experienced teams and experienced players. So it's a great credit to the playing staff and the players themselves at how well they've come through the group, finished top, and now we wait to see who we get in the next round. And as I said, everyone is happy, and we move on.
So even though things didn't go quite according to plan after the game, you wake up this morning, you're in the next round of the competition. Have you had a chance to look at who Liverpool could face?
Yeah, there's still going to be some fantastic teams in it, but that's the nature of it. You know, we played 10 games, to arrive in the position that we're in. We now know the next round of game is going to be difficult for us, but that's the nature of it, and we hope that we can continue and as I said, get a favourable draw. But I think every team that we'll get is going to be a difficult game, but it's going to be one that by the time the tournament restarts again, we're going to be in a better moment, because each day that we go by, we're improving all the time. So come February, we'll be in a good position, and we'll really look forward to it.
So we get back to Liverpool in a couple of hours' time then. What's the first thing that you and the players do?
Well, the plan, obviously they've recovered today, the players. The guys left at home have done their work. So we'll arrive back at Melwood, and the players will go off and rest and recover and get ready to come in for our last preparation session tomorrow. The staff will sit down. We have got a tactical meeting at 4 o'clock. Or before that, we've got one of our young players signing his professional contract, Jordan Ebay. So we'll look forward to seeing Jordan when we go back. He'll sign that today, which is great. 4 o'clock we have a tactical meet with the staff, and we'll go over our final touches and analysis of West Ham. And then we'll get some more meetings after that, and as I said, then we get ready for the next day's training.
Okay, looking ahead to West Ham then, the players must be in confident mood ahead of that one because of the result last night.
Yeah, and not only last night, I think our ongoing performances. have been very, very good. The players are feeling confidence all the time. We're obviously been narrow in our victories in our last couple of victories, and they could have been more clinical and we could have won by more. But the most important thing is we're winning games, and obviously, as I said, I believe as the season goes on, we'll become more clinical and see improvements in obviously our finishing at the top end of the field. So no, but we know West Ham will be a tough game. They've had a fantastic result in their last game against Chelsea. So as I said, Sam has done very, very well. They're getting them promoted, and a promoted team coming up normally, as I said, will be always very, very difficult to beat. But as I said, we'll arrive at Upton Park with great confidence, and as I said, the nature of our game is getting better all the time.
You're still looking for back-to-back victories in the league, so is this a real opportunity to hopefully get that this weekend?
Well, I hope so, and I think it's important that if you're going to be successful, you've got to be consistent. And we've shown over the course of this season that, as I said, we probably haven't got that wee final bit of luck. Maybe that might have been needed. You know, we went 8 games there unbeaten, some of those wins and a number of those draws, and the draws could have been very easily turned into victories. So, but I think it's important, if you're going to challenge consistently up the top end, you're always striving for that level of consistency. The players, in fairness to them, their consistency in their preparation and their work every single day has been brilliant. We're blooding a lot of young players into the group, and we're asking them to do men's jobs at this level. So sometimes that breeds that inconsistency, but certainly it's something that we're improving on. And as I said, if we can go to West Ham, get a good result, get the victory, that'll keep us moving in the right direction.
No Luis Suarez, obviously, this weekend. Could this be an opportunity for one of the young players, or will you consider a change of formation?
Well, it's something that we'll look at. I think it's an opportunity for probably one of the younger players. But listen, we are what we are. We've got numbers of players in the group that can score goals. I think that I've seen a statistic which was really interesting in terms of I think the record numbers of goal scorers in any one season for Liverpool is 18. Mm-hmm. We've actually had 15 up until this point. So it shows you that actually our goals are actually spread out around the team. What we have to do is make more of the chances and get more goals. But I think we've seen that there are enough goal scorers who can score the goals, and that's something that will really excite us and look forward to at West Ham.
Just finally then, Steven Gerrard, will he be available, and Lucas and Nuri Sahin as well?
Well, Nuri will remain a question mark. We'll see how he is. Obviously broke his nose last night, and so that'll spoil his good looks for a few days. But we'll see how he is and let the doctor have a look at him and assess how what the risk is in that. Stephen will be fine. He obviously was ill for a couple of days, but he's back in training, so there's no problem. Lucas, again, we had to manage him and Daniel carefully. Lucas only back from injury, so to play 3 games in a week would be much on his first week back. So he'll come back into the squad, and Daniel Agger's been brilliant for us, and like I say, just managing him to make sure we can maximise the games that he can play. So we've got a strong squad going. Of course, Louis is a miss because he's a world-class player, but our ethos will always be about the team and the collective, and that's something that we'll hope will prove good for us at the weekend.